time for us to start. Oh no, and every beginning seems to come to an end. One time I try, it falls apart again. One time is all I get now. Cause I know you're not what I wish for now. You're something out of a fantasy, escape to mine. And I don't wanna fall in love, but I'll be fine. Maybe it was one thing, maybe it was two things. Maybe it's in the way that you look at me. 'Cause I spent my whole weekend figuring that you're meant to. And I don't wanna be there to hurt no more. And I count all the times that your eyes follow mine. And you follow blind until your heart still binds. And I'll define, putting my pride aside. If you put your love on the line, so will I. I'm scared of trying, I'm scared it might end. I hate the feeling when you're out of love. In love, in love, when you're out of love. In love, in love, in love. I just hope you feel what I feel. I count all the times that your eyes follow mine. You follow mine until your heart still mine. I'll define, putting my pride aside. Put your love on the line, so will I. Maybe it was one thing, maybe it was two things. Maybe it's in the way that you look at me. 'Cause I spent my whole weekend figuring that you're meant to. And I
Hello, welcome to The Give and Go.
The
I
Give and
am
Go.
your co-host Reynoso with my boy.
Soltero. What's up, guys?
How we doing, folks? How we doing? Just got done watching the France versus Netherlands game, the first match of the Euros to end 0-0. Many people are saying in the chat that it was a sleeper of a game, put some people to sleep. And honestly, this performance, this game, has some good talking points because the biggest headline right away off the top that I want to ask the people in the chat, I want to do a poll for this right away, is did the Netherlands get robbed? And luckily, we have our rules expert here, Soltero, to discuss the decision made by Anthony Taylor on the field. Rules expert Soltero, what do you think? Did the Netherlands end up getting robbed today against France, or was it the right decision?
According to Rule 26, Article 16 in the FIFA
that true?
handbook. No, I don't know. But honestly, I mean, it's offside, textbook, right? It just is. Now, personally, I don't like it. Landon Donovan on the Fox commentary said that, the goalkeeper probably wasn't going to get there. So was the defender, or was that Dutch player really messing with the play in that offside position? Ultimately, I say no. I say let the goal stand. But I say zero controversy too, because by the book, it is offside.
Yeah.
He is right next to the goalkeeper in an offside position.
Netherlands didn't get robbed. The soul of football got robbed. That's what it is. That's what people I think that's what got people messed up, like how the poll says right now 70% are saying yes. I think the soul of the game got robbed, but the call itself was not wrong. It was the correct call. It's one of those where, taking context into display, he was never getting to that ball because of a wonderful strike from Xavi Simons. He was going to have his moment, but it got taken away from him. But ultimately, it ends up being a 0-0 result. That had a few chances here or there. First off, to mention Adrian Rabiot with an opportunity right in front of goal. I saw a comment here that says Rabiot thought he would be in a top 10 unselfish moments in football compilation making that pass, dude. Bro pressed the wrong button on the controller type shit, and he ends up passing it off to Griezmann. too much behind him. Griezmann can't get his foot wrapped around it, and it's a clear goal-scoring opportunity, the clearest one of the day, in my opinion, that ends up not seeing the back of the net.
The angle set up for him was so clear for him to make the shot.
Yeah.
There was zero reason to pass. I understand Griezmann was technically open, but he had the entire right-hand side of the goalkeeper to aim at, and he elected to pass. The ball ended up being right behind Griezmann, couldn't handle it well, and then, France continued the game 0-0. But then there was another chance, though, man, and in the second half that Griezmann got on the end of from a pass from N'Golo Kante, and that one I thought Griezmann should have handled correctly and put the ball in the back of the net. He ultimately didn't, and the game, that's the reason why this game's end 0-0, low-key, because of that Antoine Griezmann chance.
What's the takeaway, though? And chat, let me know what you guys think about this. What's the takeaway on France now? Because the performance we saw today was very, very interesting, but we do have to take into account that Kylian Mbappe was not a part of this team today. Yeah. And we all know that if he was in that offensive line, it's a much different game offensively for France. Not even if he scores or assists, but just his impact, the pull he has, the way that he threatens the defense. He's just such an impactful player that when he's not on the field, it's clear that they're missing Mbappe. So can we really get a correct reading on this French team with their best player and one of the best players in the world not being on the pitch today?
I mean, I think you can still say it's a positive result. They kept the Netherlands at bay. It's 0-0. France are basically through with 4 points. They'll probably beat Poland in their last match day. And maybe Mbappe gets minutes there and maybe hopefully scores a goal for this French team because they desperately need it. But you look at the defense and you also look at N'Golo Kante. They are perfect. They have held both the Netherlands and a really feisty Austrian side to 0 goals. That's elite type of defensive work. So France going forward, sure, maybe they're definitely lacking the offensive department, but I think any team is going to struggle to score against France.
Yeah, but it's also surprising to see that France has struggled themselves. No goals from themselves in this tournament. Obviously, they won against Austria, but it was due to an own goal. No goals whatsoever. What's the takeaway there? Has it been the fact that they just have had really good chances? They just kind of haven't been able to put that finishing touch on it? Or is it truly concerning that they haven't scored at this tournament by their own volition?
I know the chance creation is fantastic. I mean, remember Mbappe had like a really clear opportunity in that Austria game, and then Griezmann had a very clear opportunity in this match as well, and also Adrien Rabiot in this match. So the chances are right there for France to score. Yes, it's very bizarre that they're not scoring, but it'll come. I mean, these are the top players in the world. They will eventually score. Their chance creation's been good though.
And that's where I'm at, because everybody knows my pick for the Euros winner is France, and I'm not going to switch off from that. Regardless of how good Germany and France are looking right now, I'm sticking to my France prediction. Yesterday, you announced that you're leaving the British Army and you're going over to the German Army to join their attack to see how Germany pans out in this tournament. But I'm sticking to France. Guys, let me know what is right now your pick to win the Euros now that we've seen basically the top teams in this tournament play outside of Portugal, I would say. Where is your pick for the Euros title winner? Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Germany? Is it going to be Spain? Is it going to be Portugal? Who do you guys think it will be? I'm still sticking to France, but ultimately, man, ends up being 0-0 here. Not much to get from this game. And as for the Netherlands, what's the take on them? Because they got a tie against one of the best teams in the world, and they almost pulled off the upset here. They almost pulled off the surprise result, getting a Xavi Simons disallowed goal taken away from them. But they were close, man. They were really, really close.
Yeah, they were really close. And I thought they had really good moments in this game. The little 1-2s that they combined with in that central portion of the midfield with Memphis Depay, Xavi Simons, Cody Gakpo as well, I thought was great. Honestly, they generated some decent shots on goal. Nothing super dangerous. Frimpong got the start today. I would have liked to see more of him. I think the Netherlands ultimately failed to release him as often as I would have liked to see him get released. So there was some really good things for the Netherlands. I just think they moved the ball. I think they struggled to have maintained possession in the final third. That's what I wish they did more of. Because for the most part, it was France with the ball, and Netherlands' chances just came off of transition. I would have liked for them to create a little bit more in possession. So maybe they fix that going forward. I'm not sure if they can. But I think the biggest positive for the Netherlands was the defensive performance today. My goodness. I mean, every time a France player got past a Dutch defender, there was an immediate other Dutch defender to cut out the play. The help defense from the Netherlands was perfect today.
Not perfect. And I'm seeing the shouts for Portugal. I'm seeing shouts for Germany, for France. And once again, Iraq finds its way into the conversation, man. What the hell is Iraq doing in this chat right now, man? Iraq once again. And I want to address Bhavesh's comments because he's been sending this message a lot, and I've seen it in past streams. Guys, you're back in the studio. Why no watch-alongs? Please address this comment. We mentioned it before. We love watching football, just blasting it, listening to the audio, getting lost in the game. And honestly, looking at the rules that YouTube has, we can't bypass that unless we do copyright. And so we don't want to get any copyright on our videos, so we can't do that unless we wear headphones. But I'm not trying to wear headphones and watch football. I'll be honest with y'all, man. I'll be honest with you. So we're going to give you post-game live streams nonstop, and that'll have to be what you guys settle for now. But one day we'll figure out watch-alongs. We'll figure it out someday for sure. Next game?
Yeah, next game. I mean, both
game.
teams are pretty much through, right?
Yeah.
So they've done the job. I think they just need to fix a couple things. France attacking, and Netherlands maybe just trying to be stronger in possession.
I guess the last question I have for the chat is, and we'll do a poll here, do you see the Netherlands as title contenders? I'm curious to know, after the two performances we've seen so far, defeating Poland 2-1 and now tying France 0-0. Let's be honest, is Netherlands up there in that Germany, Spain, maybe even France category? They tie them today, or are they still a tier below that? Where do you guys have Netherlands? Because we've had an interesting performance today.
Yeah, what do you think? Because for the Netherlands, I actually could see them making a deep run still. Their defense has looked great in this tournament, and they have looked deadly. Yes, they're not creating the perfect chances like France are, but you don't need to get to the quarterfinals. And this team, I think, has the quality to definitely get to the quarters. And I mean, look, we saw Denmark make to the semis 3 years ago. This team is on par with that Danish team that was 3 years ago. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Netherlands go to the semis. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I'm still sticking to them making it to quarterfinals max, personally. I just think their offensive fluidity isn't fully there, and if it wasn't for that Xavi Simons shot today, I don't see how they generate their goals, man. I just don't. Cody Gakpo goes invisible after one half. Xavi Simons is on the ball a lot, but he's not much of a finishing threat. And Memphis Depay, having him up front, I just ultimately don't trust him when you compare him to the top offensive talents that we've seen so far in Germany and Spain. But their defensive midfield can keep them in matches. That's definitely what we're seeing. And they do have the class to match up to anybody in the world. So I do see them performing well in a quarterfinal matchup and making it really tight. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, I'm out on this Dutch team personally. I'm out on them personally. We have the poll at 60% saying no, 40% saying yes. I can agree with that. I think it's pretty close.
It's close. I think they're actually one of the better teams here. Now, are they the best? Are they on par with Germany and Spain? Absolutely not.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see what else we got.
Quick thing on Diego Garcia here saying, you guys always praise European refs. How do you feel about them now? I think this is the right decision. I'm sorry, like, it sucks. I wish FIFA would get rid of that rule specifically. The ref, based off of what he's told to do, made the right decision.
Yeah, and it's kind of crazy that was the most controversial decision we've seen so far this entire Euros tournament. Like, outside of this, we really haven't had a decision that takes like 2-3 minutes throughout this entire tournament.
True.
When you compare it to what we saw in the Copa America yesterday, guys. Come on now. Let's be honest, man.
Let's be honest, man.
Let's be honest. And the Americas, it's going to get crazy for the Copa America with Conmebol and CONCACAF refs. So I think there's a big difference right now that I'm noticing out of the Euros. And, Anthony Taylor, he's English, So if you want to harp on anything, it's maybe the fact that he's a Premier League rep. Maybe you can have that. You can have that for sure. Let's go over to the next match, which was Poland versus Austria. Guys, Austria won 3-1 today. 3-1, absolutely killing Poland in that second half. And my question to you guys in the poll is going to be, is Austria officially a dark horse candidate? Are they a dark horse candidate for the Euros now that they got their first win at this tournament after losing to France 1-0 and playing France really well, in my opinion, but now absolutely just trouncing, just beating this Polish team after it got tight for a little bit, taking over in that second half and scoring not 2 but 3 goals at the Olympiastadion in a really intense setting?
I'm going yes on the dark horse narrative for Austria. I've loved this team going into this tournament. I thought they played great against a really good defensive French side. Ultimately, they only conceded an own goal in that match. They come out here definitely needing a win because Poland is the weakest side in this group. But honestly, man, Poland played great again. And I'm really surprised by that because, I mean, going into the tournament, I had Poland as one of the worst teams. The funny part here is that Poland are the first team to be eliminated, even though I think it's a little undeserved to have that label for Poland because they had another good match. But Austria started the game very strong, and they ended it very strong. That's where they got their goals in this match. Poland did have a really good 50 minutes in the middle of this match where they got that really nice improvisational goal through Piatek, but it wasn't enough. Austria turned it back on in that second half with a classic midfield press and really pressured the backline of Poland, and they got a gorgeous goal through Baumgartner, a little dummy from Marko Arnautovic, and a beautiful finish that at the time made it 2-1.
Made it 2-1, and then afterwards they got the first penalty of the Euros getting called here with Arnautovic scoring that goal as well. I love the decision from Ralf Rangnick to start Arnautovic over, is it Gregoric? In place of him. He had a great game.
Yeah,
Arnautovic had a great game, man, just showing that West Ham class that we've seen, man, from him. Arnautovic balled out today, and this whole team did really well. But my thing with Poland is I do think their lowest points are just much more lower than Austria, and that's what we saw today because when they peaked, they were pretty good, man. They were solid, and they put Austria on their heels. But then in that second half, I mean, they kind of lost their soul. They kind of lost their life a little bit, and they looked a little out of whack. And that's when Austria just completely took over. And props to them because that's what I was hoping to see them do was take over in a match and just ball out because they are a very good team. And after the disappointment of teams like Hungary, for example, with that dark horse label, it's nice to see Austria actually step up to it and score 3 goals in a Euros match. The chat, what do we have? We have 71% saying Austria is officially a dark horse candidate. I completely agree with you guys. Austria is a dark horse candidate. I'm interested to see how they perform against the Netherlands in that third match now because they're still looking to kind of secure either third or second place now that the Netherlands tied, so they're on 4 points. They can get second place if they want and secure second place, bro.
Yeah, I actually have them pulling it off against the Netherlands. I think that'll be a great test. They get a win there, then I think the sky's the limit for Austria, and they can do anything in a knockout game. It's going to get crazier for Austria, but the way that they play, the way that they're so dynamic when they win the ball and go in transition, it's so fun to watch, man. They've had 2 really entertaining matches, and I want to talk about Arnautovic one more time because, dude, I love this guy. I really do. You know, he doesn't have the craziest stats. He never has throughout his entire career, but ever since he was at Stoke City, I've just always loved the way that this man specifically plays football. And honestly, there really aren't players like him. Truly, he's like a player from a different era, and he's still managed to play in the modern era today. And I think the fact that Rangnick chose to start him in this match shows you his class, shows you his IQ, because he just made his 114th appearance today for the Austrian national team, the most all time for this team. Wow. And I think, again, it really shows how important and how good Arnautovic has been his entire career.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Awesome. That's amazing, dude. What a baller. People have compared him to Zlatan Ibrahimovic at his absolute peak because he kind of embodies that type of player. He has really good hold-up play.
Yeah.
He's tall. He can take over, and he's a really good offensive force, and he can finish too. At his best, he was a great player to watch, man. A great player to watch. I'm seeing a lot of chats here that have the word Mexico in them. We're not here to talk Mexico, bro. Not yet, man.
That's tomorrow.
Not yet. Mexico tomorrow in the Copa America. That's coming soon. Yes, Austria are dark horses, but Iraq are favorites. This Iraq narrative is getting crazy. It's getting crazy, man. Should there be a Euro Cup winner versus Copa America winner game? That'd be awesome. Bro, if I could get that just a week after the games, that'd be awesome.
Don't they do that? The finalissima.
They do, but that's like a year later, right?
We're talking immediately after.
I mean, like immediately after.
That would be fun.
That'd be dope. Like just a consolation type of game, a week after, just while the guys are already together. Put them up against each other and see what happens. Let's look at some super chats. We got a few super chats from the folks listening to the Give and Go. We have Adan Guzman Valdez. That is a name from that's the name of someone that's like from the 70s, dude. Adan Guzman Valdez says, I always listen to you guys on Spotify. First time watching a live chat. Much love from Orlando, Florida. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. Appreciate that so much. And speaking of Spotify, give us 5 stars on Spotify if you're listening right now. And also thumbs up this stream. I need to see thumbs up on the stream right now if you like seeing Arnautovic ball out and if you like seeing this French team bench Mbappe. Because that was crazy. Did you think it was the right decision to not play Mbappe today if ultimately he was deemed healthy to play 90 minutes? Do you think it was the right decision for Deschamps, or should he have stayed, or would it have been better if he had minutes in this game that ultimately ended 0-0? We got 2 more super chats. What else we got? Jay Patel, our boy, says, thoughts on France and England's chances? Have you changed your favorites? I said early in the stream, maybe you missed it, I said I'm sticking to my France prediction, although I acknowledge that Spain and Germany have been absolutely incredible. And Soltero yesterday announced his change in allegiance as he has left the English party and has gone over to join the Germans.
Yeah, and my whole take to sum it up, England can still go all the way to the final, right? Their base level quality is higher than most teams here. Won't be surprised if they get there, even though they've been very poor these first two opening matches, but just the way Germany and Spain are playing, they look like the clear favorites. Unfortunately, they're going to meet in the quarters, so only one will go through. If that happens, I say Germany, and if that happens, I say Germany go all the way.
Yeah. Ghostface Quan, what a name, says, the most disappointing thing about Austria doing so well is they don't have David Alaba. Such a shame he isn't part of the best Austrian team he would have been a part of if healthy. I said this in the previews. I completely agree with you, Ghostface. I said this in the previews, dude. That's one of the more saddening parts about this team is that David Alaba is honestly their best player when you look at club trajectory and what he's achieved. And he won't be able to be a part of the best Austrian team that we've seen, at least in the modern era of football, because of injury.
Yeah, the story of it sucks. The football of it, not necessarily because he hasn't really played that much over the last 2 years. But, yeah, I mean, he is the reason why Austria were even decent 10 years ago. So he was there in the thick of it when the rest of the Austrian squad wasn't good. And, you know, that's why I'm glad he's here on the bench enjoying these beautiful moments with Austria. I mean, dude, when Baumgartner scored his goal and the way he immediately ran to Coach Ragnar and everyone huddled around the coach after and just celebrated with him is beautiful. It really shows the unity of this Austrian side. And it's why I think they're the clear dark horses. They have so much chemistry together.
Yeah, I just love the setting of today, man. That game looks so dope at the Olympiastadion, one of my favorite stadiums in the world, and it got sold out, bro. Like, it was full to a brim with Austrians and Polish folks just taking over and showing their love for their team. It was a great game, but it's time we move on to the last game of the day, Slovakia versus Ukraine. If we got any Ukrainians in the chat, show yourself right now. Show yourself right now, because I need to talk to y'all. I need to talk to any Ukrainians in the chat. And if you're not Ukrainian, then if you're a Ukrainian fan at the very least, if you appreciate what they did today, let me know in the chat, because Ukraine pulled off a comeback against Slovakia after being down 1-0, coming back from this game and getting a 2-1 result. Ukraine gets 3 points and stays in this tournament.
Dude, 2 huge goals for Ukraine in the second half, man. One through Shaparenko. The ball comes across the box and he hits it first time beautifully, just puts a little curl on it to equalize the match. But then that second goal, man, Yaremchuk, ball over the top from Shaparenko, by the way, and the touch that he gets off of that long ball, and then the second touch to put it past the keeper, a perfect game winner for Ukraine. Thoroughly deserved, but I will say, I think Slovakia kind of lost it at the end.
You think they choked it?
I think they choked it a bit, yeah. They had dominated large portions of this game. They were physically better than Ukraine. They had done the job. Like, they were up 1-0. And all they really needed to do was hold on to the draw, too, because 4 points is enough. To concede that second goal, especially since it was just a simple long ball over the top, is very disappointing for Slovakia.
Yeah, and I thought before that first goal came for Ukraine, I was looking at this Ukrainian team like, how are they going to generate a goal, man? Because up to that point, Slovakia was doing really good shutting them down, but just the offensive identity for Ukraine, like, I feel like they don't know how they are meant to score in games. Like, is it through Mudryk just going crazy on the sidelines and trying to generate an opportunity? So far, that hasn't really been successful. Is it feeding the ball up to Dovbyk? I don't think it is, because he got subbed off in this game. What's the decision? What's the best solution to get a goal if you're Ukraine? Well, we finally got it today, but it actually came, I think, at Slovakia's defense getting a little lazy. Bro, Zinchenko found a wide open, I don't know who scored that first goal, but he found him wide open in the penalty area, basically the penalty dot, and he just scored a nice little finish. It was a really good goal, and shout out to Ukraine for that and for taking advantage of it. But I thought it was just really surprising how all of a sudden Slovakia switched off. And then for that second goal as well, just a floated ball over the top. Nice touch, beautiful finish. Great quality and technique on it, but still, to get beat like that, it kind of surprised me a little bit knowing how Slovakia had played that first game against Belgium and the first half against Ukraine.
That's what I'm saying, man. They had worked so hard in obviously that Belgium game, but even today for 70 minutes, and then the last 20 minutes, they just completely let go. They honestly looked like they got tired, and maybe that is because of that Belgium game. They may have given everything that they could have. But yeah, I just think it's disappointing. They had it. They were about to qualify, and now they have a really tough game waiting for them in that last match. So I think Slovakia missed a really good opportunity today. But for Ukraine, this is huge. They stole this essentially. They now gathered 3 points from this, and it was not looking like it was going to happen for Ukraine.
Dude, it didn't. It really didn't up until like the 60th minute, and then they just flipped it completely, and they end up winning 2-1. They look so happy at the end of it. Like they really look relieved. I think it was a good moment for Ukraine, but for Slovakia, I think it does put. I think for me, it does put this idea of them potentially being dark horses in this tournament.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was starting to gain momentum. It was the idea of Slovakia as dark horses. And I just didn't really see it. I understand they got a good result against Belgium, but they barely generated any offensive opportunities against Belgium.
Right.
If anything, they just pounced on a really big mistake from Lukaku, who gave the ball away. And props to them. I want to give credit, but I don't see them as dark horses as making a deep run in this tournament. And I think today showed it especially, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't think Slovakia ever really were dark horses. I mean, they got an insane historic result against Belgium, but yeah, you're right. It was mainly off of a mistake. But honestly, Slovakia, they played great today. They really did for 70 minutes. And the last 20 minutes, they just choked it. So, yeah, it's just disappointing. They played great. Honestly, they played better than I thought they would. Hadassin's a baller. That left winger out on that side, he actually got the assist today. He is a really good footballer. He plays, I believe, with Slavia Prague. I believe is who he plays for. But yeah, I could see him making a bigger move over the summer. He's a good player.
Yeah. Guys, what did you think about this match? Because we're about to get into awards for the day. What did you think about this match? Final thoughts. Give us a thumbs up on the stream. The awards are coming. Daily awards are coming. But first, I got to look at a super chat that we got down below from my boy, Hus Jaber. Hus Jaber says, here we go. Here we go. Poland will disappoint you more than a brown kid telling his parents he doesn't want to be a doctor/engineer/lawyer. That's facts.
That's facts,
That's
man.
facts,
It's
man.
so
That's
tough.
Poland, bro. And I know that there's Poland people in the chat right now. I'm sure you guys would agree because Polish football always disappoints in major tournaments, man. At least from what I've seen, like the last 10, 12 years, man.
It just sucks, though, because they actually played great in this tournament. This is the best I've ever seen Poland perform, ever. And unfortunately, they were put in one of the most difficult groups. I mean, Netherlands, France, and dark horses Austria.
Yeah.
They were probably put in the actually hardest group at this tournament. It's not on Poland. They showed out, and the Polish fans showed out today too. My goodness, were they loud. And I'm glad that they had a really good moment in this match. And honestly, even against the Netherlands, they had a really good moment too. So they've at least entertained their people. So I think that's what's most important here. They were never going to get out of this group.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's crazy. They're the first team to get eliminated out of the Euros is Poland. That's so fitting.
Yeah.
So fitting for the Polish narrative. Guys, it's time to do awards. What is your goal of the day? Goal of the day. We had a Yaremchuk beauty today. If you're looking for technique in class, we had Austria getting 3 goals on Poland. We had Poland even getting a goal as well. And then we had donuts, zeros in the France-Netherlands match. What goal ends up being the best goal of the day? Baumgartner had a nice goal, nice little dummy in the process there. Trauner scoring a beautiful header for Austria.
A good
to start the
header.
game. My pick is going to be Yaremchuk's. I'm going to go Yaremchuk.
Yeah.
What you going with?
I'm going Baumgartner. I just love the fluidity of that goal itself. It was also a brilliant pass from Alexander Prost, the current Sturm Graz champion. So the finish was excellent as well. Definitely going Baumgartner's goal.
Yeah, I think the favorite in the chat is Xavi Simon's goal.
The ghost goal.
The ghost goal. Honestly, might have to give it to him because, bro, that was a banger of a finish.
Yeah.
Absolutely caught it. Next award is Performance of the Day. Who was the best player today? Who gets the Performance of the Day award? With 3 different matches happening here, I think this one's interesting. I thought Arnautovic was awesome today, and you mentioned that the Slovakian you mentioned was really cool too. I mean, who's the best performer of the day? Shaparenko? Is it Xavi Simons as well? Is it Gakpo? Is it Virgil van Dijk? Yaremchuk?
Honestly, you could say any of the defenders of Netherlands or France. You could say any of those center backs. You could say Shaparenko since he had a goal and an assist. So statistically, it'll probably be Shaparenko. I don't know. I just don't think there was a huge standout. I mean, we had a 0-0 today. Slovakia would have probably had it through Hadaslin, but they lost the game at the end.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll say either Shaparenko or you name any center back in the Netherlands-France game.
For me, it's got to be an Austrian. They got 3 goals today. So any Austrian. I'm seeing Lamer getting some shouts. I'm just going to go Arnautovic. I loved his performance today. I'm going to go Arnautovic. Chat is saying Virgil van Dijk, Kante.
Yeah.
It's kind of all
You
over the
could.
place.
You
It's
could.
kind of all over the place today. And lastly, what's the game of the day? What's the game of the day? Is it France tying the Netherlands? We were hoping that this game would be much more back and forth and it would have more goals in it, but it ends up being 0-0. Poland, Austria had a beautiful setting, and Austria just going off in front of so many fans. And then Ukraine was a awesome comeback, coming back from down 1-0 and getting their first victory at the Euros. Who's the game of the day going to?
For me, easily Austria-Poland. The ebb and flow of this match was so fun to watch. It started with Austria going off hot, then Poland took over and played really good football, and then Austria took over and scored 2 very good goals. I just love the flow of this game. It was almost like a chess match, but it was end-to-end at times as well. Easily Poland-Austria, game of the day.
Chat's going Austria-Poland, and Elizabeth is saying, sleep, guys, please. We need to sleep. We need to get our sleep with the monkey emoji like this.
I'm not sleeping, unfortunately. I have another late day. OFC's tonight, 11 a.m. or 11 p.m. and then 2 a.m. are the kickoffs for tonight. And then there's an 8 a.m. match for Euros. And then there's Copa tomorrow night as well.
Yeah. You've been downing those monsters, man. I've been
zero
downing
sleep.
them, bro. I mean, Diego Garcia is, what is the sleeping schedule looking like, boys? Just look at us right now. You'll know, man. You'll know. I've been getting like 6 hours. Honestly, it hasn't been that bad. I've been getting like 6 hours of sleep. I've been getting 6 hours. It's not too bad, but we're hanging in there. And then finally, let's do match previews. Let's talk about the games happening tomorrow with the last set of round 2 matches happening at the Euros with Group E and Group F action. Starting off, the day starts off with Georgia going up against Czechia. This one's going to be fun, man, because Georgia was part of the best game at the Euros so far between Turkey and Georgia, and they played great, man. They played great. So they now face off against a Czechia team that lost to Portugal in a stunning comeback, and now both teams are looking for 3 points in this game.
Yeah, I hope Georgia put in the same performance that they did against Turkey. It was so entertaining. It was fearless. I just hope that they don't miss chances in this match. As in the chances that they craft, I hope they put them away, man. I don't want heartbreak here for Georgians, man. I really don't. I love the way that they play. They have some really fun players. Their commitment in the midfield is fantastic to watch. They have a great goalkeeper in Mamardashvili. This is a really fun team. But I'm just a little scared they might not finish some very clear chances.
It took Portugal a lot to break Czechia, man.
It
did. Took them a lot.
That's the thing.
I don't know if Georgia can do the same thing. I know they will pour their heart into this match, but I'm just excited to see them go all out. That's my thing, because with Georgia, I'm not really worried about how they're going to approach the game. I know they're going to give it their all, and they're going to try their best. So I'm going to be rooting for Georgia. But in terms of predictions, man, I mean, a draw maybe. Might end up getting a draw here.
I'd be cool with a draw. I hope, honestly, that's the result. I just don't know if Georgia can hold on a lead against Czechia. Because Czechia are tough. They're tough opponents.
Yeah.
So I could see a draw. I could see either team winning. I don't know what's going to happen,
Yeah.
but this is going to be really fun to watch.
Czech Republic at 41% winning this matchup, says the chat. Georgia at 38%. Then the draw at 20%. Okay, interesting. Like just a slight favoritism towards Czech Republic. It's going to be really, really close. The next match is going to be a banger. Turkey going up against Portugal. Turkey trying to build up that dark horse narrative that people are hinting at after beating Georgia and having Arda Güler's golazo be one of the best tournaments of this, be one of the best goals of this tournament. And Portugal, a team that I already announced I'm officially out on based off the performance I saw in those 90 minutes against Czechia Republic. Can they prove that that was just a fluke, that was just rust, and that they're actually here to ball out and take over this tournament? This is the time to do it against Turkey.
This is the time. Portugal, I mean, they did ultimately win that match. So Portugal are coming off of a win. Yes, it wasn't necessarily inspiring, but I think they can change things around. I'm not out on this Portuguese side yet.
Okay.
I always give teams 2 chances at a tournament. So this is their second chance. As for Turkey, obviously they had a really good game, but let's also be honest, it was against a very open Georgia. So I think we have to lessen the Turkey hype unless they pass this Portuguese test.
Lessen the Turkey hype. That's a crazy sentence. Lessen the Turkey hype. Where do you guys stand on this one? We have Portugal at 58%. How many people have Turkey winning this one, producer? Can I see the poll? Turkey 29%, draw at 13. And I'm seeing a lot of shouts for Turkey in the chat. I do think they're one of the more likable teams in this tournament because of that first performance they had against Georgia. I want to see if they can replicate that, though. I want to see if they can take it to Portugal and get a result. It would say a lot about Turkey and the potential title chances and dark horse chances as well. Finally, the last game of the day is Belgium facing off against Romania. The final game of the day, Belgium versus Romania. Romania currently topping the group with 3 points and Belgium in fourth with 0, man. Who would have thought? Huge game.
Huge game, man. I'm actually so excited for this one because I just want Romania to approach it the exact same way. Be very strong defensively, hit out on the break, use that width, use the creativity of Stanchu, and just go at Belgium when you get the opportunities. I'd love to see it. I think Romania honestly could pull out a draw here for sure. Belgium just need to forget that first game and attack.
I need more. I need like more data on this Romanian team. I need more data. That's my thing. Like Ukraine, looking back, did not show up like to their game against Romania at all whatsoever. Like if anything, Ukraine have finally arrived to the Euros in that second half against Slovakia. Before that, I don't know who they were, bro. I don't know who they were. And so I just want to get more info on Romania and what they can actually do. The thing is, I'll get that answer against a Belgium team that has to get a result.
Have to.
Otherwise, us and the media is going to go berserks on these dudes, bro. It's going to be like unlike anything else, man, if Belgium disappoints once again after losing to Slovakia. If they lose to Romania, bro.
That'd be nuts, man. That'd
Oh,
be crazy.
man.
Even a draw is actually a really poor result for Belgium. Having 1 point after 2 matches for Belgium, a top 5, quotation marks over that side in the world, that's nuts.
Yeah.
It'd be a massive upset if Romania get anything from this.
Promise me you'll grill him. You'll grill Belgium.
For
grill him
sure,
tomorrow,
man.
I need you to grill him,
Low
bro.
key though, I'm going to be rooting for Romania.
Yeah.
They were fun to root for in that last game. So
Yeah. I need to smoke that Belgian pack, bro. I need to smoke that shit, man. I'm excited. Captain Crunch says Lukaku scores for both teams. Bro, he's a Lukaku hater, man. He's been on Lukaku's ass, pause, for a long time now, man. For a long time. I've been watching you, Captain Crunch. I've been watching you. We have a few more super chats. Let me see what the folks are saying. Romania actually topping the poll. So the Give and Go folks believe Romania will pull off the upset here, man.
All right.
That'd be crazy, bro. That'd be crazy. We have a final super chat. What do we have? We have Mateo Pegasus saying, first controversial VAR call with a Prem ref. What y'all think about that? Well, we talked about it earlier in the episode, and basically I agree with you in the sense that this was the first truly controversial call throughout the entire Euros, and it's funny that it does come at the hands of a Premier League referee. The thing is, it is the right call if you're looking at the textbook. It's the wrong call if you're talking about the soul of the sport, because everyone wanted to see that be counted as a goal because it's a beautiful finish, and we know Magnan was not getting to it. But looking at the rules, it is the correct call, so you can't ultimately complain about that. Ghostface Quan, once again, player of the day should be Kante, in my opinion, doing work on both sides and actually creating a key chance for Griezmann to fuck it up. That's true. He had that nice little through ball inside the box. He almost had it he got it through for Griezmann. Griezmann just couldn't get his final touch in it. Also, Viva Scotland. Scotland's dead, bro. Scotland's dead, man.
Loves the Scottish spirit, though. I really do. But Conte, man, dude, I can't believe how good he's been. I really can't. I low-key doubted him. Low-key. I'm ashamed that I did that. I cannot believe he has been as good as he has these last 2 games. He looked like he just finished winning the Premier League with Leicester City.
Yeah.
He looks that good. He looks like he just won the Prem with Chelsea. Like,
that's the surprising
It
part.
looks like he was in the same form 6 years ago. It's ridiculous how good this guy is.
That's true, man, because like Jordan Henderson isn't even here anymore, or Jorginho Wijnaldum coming off the bench, dude. Like these guys that leave Europe and go to Saudi Arabia, they don't come back the same, man. They don't come back the same, but Conte somehow just bypassed that.
Yeah.
Fabinho's not even at the Copa America anymore, man.
Right.
Like these players that are going to Saudi Arabia, we see something happen to him, but Conte, man, with his high spirits and his playing ability, has not stopped whatsoever, bro. So it really is one of the best parts of watching this French team is seeing Conte. And actually, I do wonder, where would they be without him, dude? In this tournament, where would they be without him? Because he's been amazing so far, man. He's been amazing so far. Copa America preview. I mean, we have Peru-Chile happening later. Soltero will be here to cover this game after it happens tonight. So make sure to tune into our Copa America reaction tonight. Copa America and the Euros are finally here at the same time, folks. And we hope that you guys can catch them alongside us. We'll be doing post-game live streams for every single day. It's going to get crazy, man. It's going to get crazy. Anything else before we sign off?
I don't think so. This was another fun day of Euros, man.
Another fun day, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow for what's going to be another electric day of group stage games in the Euros. Paz.